Hello, 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 and welcome to the Rumble and Roar podcast. If this is your first time tuning in, I am Lenoria, and this is...
I am Shayna.
Shayna. So, we are going to jump right in, Shayna.
Okay.
We are going to talk about, guys, it's probably something that a lot of people don't really, maybe not even interested in, but when my cousin Clarante told me about this, I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. You know, we're going to, oh my gosh, there is a fly in here. We are going to talk about retrograde. Retrograde. And what is retrograde? We're in, what is it, Gemini retro? What is it? The retrograde we're in now is Mercury retrograde, right?
So actually there's 7 planets in retrograde
right now
for the summer that will go through it this summer. So we'll go through the dates, but so we're not only in Mercury retrograde. Like there's a few that are happening right now.
Well, guys, I thought it was just Mercury retrograde. The dates for Mercury retrograde. Let's just tell you what retrograde is. It's when it appears that the planets the motions is going backwards, but it really isn't. It's an illusion. Mm-hmm. The planets are not going backwards.
So if it's an illusion, why are we just
affected by it?
Right.
I know, I said the same thing. I said the same thing. Because it's a atmosphere thing. You know, we're humans. You know, it's things that go on with you know, like, you don't think the moon, do you think the moon has anything to do with your moods?
No.
Well, it does. Do you think the moon has anything to do with the waves in the ocean?
Yes, I think the moon and the sun both affect.
Okay. Oh, it has something to do with your moods and stuff like that as well. And so does retrograde. And let me see. Okay, retrograde in 2023. It would appear that the motions are following range dates. Okay, but it will, I know that was just a bunch of gibberish right there. But it starts now, guys. The retrograde for August starts August 23rd through September 14th.
Okay.
And the people that are most affected by it, I guess everybody is. However, they said Virgos. Well, I read that it was Virgos and Geminis. Aren't you a Gemini?
I am the Gemini. Okay. But I'm so confused by this because it's like, what if you're not an astrological person? Like you don't really believe in all like the...
Okay,
the
stop
signs.
right there. Because
Okay.
you do me like that and I love it. Okay, just because you're not an astrological person, I can't, you know how my tongue get twisted, and I hate it because I can't pronounce words really well, and I do my very best, and people, where are you from? But just because you're not something doesn't mean that it's not going to not affect you. But a lot of people say that, but go ahead.
I also think that when you believe in something, and you're like, okay, so this is why this is happening. It's because it's Mercury retrograde, or because it's whatever retrograde. This is why it's happening, or this time is coming up, and I know that certain stuff will happen. So what I'm gonna have to do, because I can't sit here and be like, what happened to me from August 23rd? I can't do that. So I'm gonna, and I don't want to make a conscious effort to do it, because then I'm gonna be like, that's that bullshit.
But you know what I did? Guys, I know exactly what she's talking about, because when my cousin Clarante told me about it, I did the same thing as you. I was like, I don't get into all of that. And it never affected me before. So I'm not about to sit here and try to think that it's going to do anything to my mood or whatever the case may be. But guess what? When things started happening, and I'm like, what in the world? When people start calling you out the blue, and you're like, this person ain't called me in 4 years. What the? And so now what I do is I had forgotten about it when she first told me about it. I probably didn't even, the following year, I didn't even think or look at it or whatever. But something said, another year when I thought about it, I was like, what is going on? This is really weird. Stuff is happening for no reason. So I looked it up. I was like, it is retrograde.
So do these type of things never happen like?
They really do not, the way that they're happening when it's retrograde. I promise you. Girl, hold up. Ask my daughter. I was like, no lie, about 4 or 5 people that I haven't talked to, that just out of the blue, they just called me. I was like, what is going on? And that's this kind of stuff that happens. And let me see, things just happen out of the ordinary, and then you argue. You argue. This is not the time that you should, let me find it. It's not the time that you should make decisions right now, guys, because retrograde, goodness.
But what if you have to?
Oh, well then, it is what it is. You have to make a decision, but they say that during this time, you don't want to, if you can, wait until like September 15th. I know it's crazy. It sounds crazy, but, around this time, if you got a contract to sign, or you're in business with someone and you are feuding, or it just seems like at this time, things will be just chaotic. Total chaos.
And so now you did mention Virgos and Geminis. Is Mercury retrograde just for those signs?
No, it's for everyone, but it says it affects them the most.
Okay.
The most. And I'm not really sure why. You know, I should have known. Before I got on this, I should be able to tell people why, but it says. But the reason we're doing this today is I just want people to be aware of retrograde, and they can go ahead and do their own research and just even know about retrograde. And when they start looking it up and see, oh, wait a minute, I'm a Libra, I'm a this, I'm a that, you know, and how it affects them. But this Mercury retrograde affects the Gemini and the Virgos mostly, but it does everybody.
So you may or may not know this. I don't know if you remember, like a few years ago, something came out where they were changing the dates for the signs.
Yeah.
So what if
I don't remember.
My sign would have changed?
No, I don't remember that, but I thought see, I was ahead of myself. I thought you were going to say they're getting ready to change like daylight savings time and stuff like that.
So they think about just no longer having daylight savings time, which certain states like Arizona, they don't even have it. Yes. So it's like they're basically, we're trying to pass a law to say we're not going to, go but change the time back, spring forward. We're just not going to do that anymore, which I think is great because I don't like it being dark at 6 o'clock.
Oh.
Like, I feel like I'm ready to go to bed.
Let me tell you something. Shayna, when you're a daycare provider and you get up at 5 o'clock and you open up at 6:30, when it's daylight savings time, it's dark when you open. It's dark when you close. It starts getting dark at 5 o'clock, and by the time 6 o'clock, when everybody pick up that last child, it is dark. It is pitch dark by 6 or 7. And you're like, and I am I don't know what you call it, but as soon as I see dark, my brain is saying sleep.
And I'm just like, it's already cold. Like, why I gotta be dark too?
I love the cold weather though.
What's your birthday?
I'm a November.
Yes.
I'm a cold baby.
Nobody got time for it to be cold. It's be miserable. You can't even get cute. I mean, you can get cute, but you gotta be cute and warm. That's not cute. But anyway, so yeah, I was gonna say, like, what if, like, according to that astrological date change, I think mine would have been pushed back to make me like a Cancer.
What?
Yeah. And it's because, like, my birthday is in the middle of the month. So I'm definitely a Gemini. My birthday is June 18th. But with them changing the dates, it was like, oh, okay, we're going to push. It was either pushing me back to Cancer or pushing me forward to Taurus. Which both of them, I was like, ugh. But I was wondering, like, how that may have affected or comes into play with the whole retrograde thing. Or if that would affect it, because if I'm technically considered now a Taurus, which I would never.
You don't want to be a Taurus.
I want to be a Gemini. That's me. But if that changed, like, would this retrograde affect me differently? I guess is my question.
Well, if you are not supposed, well, it says Virgo and Gemini.
Okay.
But you know what? Pushing dates back, moving dates around, and as life goes on, everything is changing. But I can't even see being anything but a Sagittarius. I mean,
my son's a Sag too.
You can't even tell me that I would be another sign. I don't care how you push that calendar forward, backwards, anywhere. I can't see that. So,
so when is the next, after this one, when's the next Mercury retrograde? Do you have that?
It is, okay, the first one was,
I have it.
no,
So
thank you,
the
because
next one
you remember this thing was wiped out, so my computer's not acting right, but go ahead.
The next one is going to be December 13th of this year to January 1st. What I will say is that when I'm looking at the other retrogrades, Mercury seems to be the shortest one. So I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but
it's a good thing when it has you crazy in the head.
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna test that out and see. I'm gonna see for the rest of this one, but I don't want to. I don't want to make it obvious and then be like, no, I'm not gonna let Mercury retrograde.
Just forget all about it. Just forget all about it. And then when a lot of stuff going on and chaos, and you're just like, what is going on? Just say, wait a minute, let me see what's going on with and then you're gonna be like, whoa, I'm right, it's smack dead in the middle of it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to go through the other retrograde. So right now, Pluto is in retrograde. That retrograde is from May 1st to October 10th. Saturn is also in retrograde from June 17th to November 4th. So that's what I was saying. All of these are long. Like Mercury's is like 2 weeks.
Lying. That is crazy long. But what are the? You might not know because we did not. We just want to make people aware of retrograde. We did not. But and they can go and look it up. But what are the effects? I mean, because if they have the effect that Mercury retrograde does, that's a long time to be just confused and all chaotic and crazy. That's probably why Mercury retrograde is very short, because I can't even imagine taking
half the damn year.
Huh?
These other
oh,
ones,
like, that's what I was about to say. I can't even imagine having Mercury retrograde to be 3 and 4 and 5 months. It would be a mess. It would be a purge up in this mug.
Well, okay, so the Pluto retrograde, it just says it affects Aquarius and Capricorns. Old power struggles and former triangular situations will be reopened and re-examined to see how we can learn and grow from them.
Okay.
The Saturn retrograde, this says Pisces. It says relationships are going to be tested as we're deciding who and what we should invest our energy in. Neptune retrograde is from June 30th to December 6th, another 6 months almost.
That's
it says our tuition may not be as spot on as it usually is when Neptune is in retrograde in Pisces. You may start believing the narratives you tell yourself even if they're not true.
Wow, you don't want that.
Yeah, no.
That's what you were just saying. You just, you're believing it. Yeah.
Right.
Nah.
Okay, so Venus retrograde is from July 22nd to September 3rd. Okay, that one's a little shorter. It's still longer than Mercury.
Yeah.
So Venus retrograde in Leo will make us long for big declarations of love and affection. Ew. And Leos, they some little softy crybaby ass.
What?
Yeah. Ugh.
My mother's a Leo.
She was soft.
She was
nice as hell to me anyway.
She was sweet. She's very sweet, but she wasn't soft. She was. Yes, Mama was very. Oh my God. when you say soft, I'm thinking soft like is not able to handle stuff.
Oh no.
She's a daggone toughie and was handling a lot. But yeah,
her
she
feminine.
It's like okay, it's gonna be all right. But yeah, you're right. Oh my goodness.
This says for that same one for Venus. The less attention we get, the more we'll want it. This also holds true for money and finances. And then we have the less you get, the less you want. The less attention we get, the more we'll want. So the less money you get, the more you'll want. I mean, yeah, that's anybody.
Okay, that fly in here is not.
So then we have Mercury, which again right now is August 23rd to September 15th. This says in Virgo, so it skipped me. I don't know about the Gemini part, but it says Mercury retrograde is going to bring back exes and old flames. this transition will bring us face to face with the past, both the good and the bad. I don't want no parts of that right there. Uranus is also in retrograde from August 28th to January 27th. This is for Taurus. Don't expect major waves or growth during this time. Damn, that's a long time to not be growing. Take life one day at a time to avoid frustrations from rising during this planetary retrograde. Ooh, that sucks. Jupiter is also in retrograde. Well, it will be September 4th through December 30th. This is also for Taurus. It says that this transition urges us to make calculated risks instead of jumping all in without looking. Basically, it's a call to read the fine print, read the red flags. Like, you know, before you just jump off the bridge, have your life list. So those are the 7 planets that will be in retrograde this summer, the summer 2023. Most of them already are. The last one that has not gone into retrograde will start on Monday, which is the Jupiter retrograde.
Okay.
So well, that's very interesting.
Oh, it is. It is. And when I tell you, I did not realize, I didn't know, because I'm always doing the Mercury one, and this is really irritating me because my system is not doing right.
But I think that we only ever hear about Mercury retrograde. I've never heard of any other, nobody say, oh, it's Jupiter retrograde. I've always only heard Mercury.
Well, because Mercury is the one that makes people god darn go crazy.
I think that's where the aliens live.
Mercury, it says, why are people concerned when Mercury is in retrograde? I'm trying to go because the computer is not working. Okay, of course we know retrograde motion is when a planet seems wait a minute, the planet as seen from the earth appears doing a reverse direction. Yes. So girl, I have to hand do this. Is terrible. It's not working.
Well, while you're working, I'm gonna tell you what as far as your sign, because it just says what do these retrogrades mean. So it says you won't have stability in work until the retrogrades clear up. Retrogrades meaning
all of them. Okay. That's bullcrap, because some of them, I mean, you're out of one and there's another one going on and another one. So how are you not gonna have?
But a lot of them are at the same time. It's just some are extending longer than others. So I want to say the last one we're probably in. This is December. January 27th.
In December, it's gonna
January 27th is the longest one. So that's when the last one will end, but probably when something else will be.
But Mercury, the last one. Oh shoot, January. No.
It's December 13th to January 1st.
Okay, that was last year. December.
One of the other ones will still be in retrograde until January 27th.
See what I'm saying? It seems like you're always in retrograde, and with something. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. You can't. But
it's those. It's different retrogrades. But that Mercury retrograde is the one that have you feuding, and I think that's the. It's my opinion. Doesn't make it right, I guess. Because it makes you in a way where you can't focus. You don't focus. The things that you had control of at one point, you can't. It's like you're out of control with it. A person that you're like, okay, I don't put this person on the back burner. You are no longer in my life. I don't even care about you. They up and call you, be like, how you doing? How am I doing? I thought you were dead. I was wishing you were dead at least. Why are you calling me? And where did you come from? And what's making you call me? What is going on with the moon, stars, and planets? Something's got to be going on for you to call me. That kind of stuff happens. So, and it says it's called from the orbits. The orbits. It's an illusion. But I see that. I just saw. Don't turn it off. I saw where you had where you can tell each sign, and how it's going to be affected.
Right. So I was just going to do ours, and maybe the Virgo. People that we're close to. So for yours, it does say you won't have stability in work until the retrogrades clear up. It says your boss.
Is that me, Sagittarius? You're reading?
Yes. So it says,
and it's so true because it's some stuff going on with me now. What you just said was like a hammer on that. Yes.
But it says your boss, which is clearly you, could make you feel as though you're replaceable. So I don't know if that clearly can't count for you. But
they're talking about other people.
It says even though you aren't, which could cause a lot of anxiety within, breathe through the motions. That's what it says for you. For me, for Gemini, it says use your charisma to elegantly move past old situations that you want no part of.
Oh,
you'll evolve past all that. If people project negativity onto you, ignore them and focus on yourself.
Is that not what's going on with you right now?
I mean, yes,
a little bit.
It's not an old situation. It's a current situation. I am a lot more focused on myself because I just moved. I'm trying to move on to bigger things at work. Like I do have a lot of stuff going on. You're still not telling me right now, but you working on it. You working on it.
But look, it says expect frequent misunderstanding, scheduling problems, and disappointments.
Okay.
If all of this is not happening to me right now, it's just insane. All of this. Let me see. All of this is happening to me right now. Public interest of the subject has increased over the few past years, particularly among young people. Oh,
so yeah, I mean, the young people, they do their research all the time, so they definitely.
Every time you say bigger. Young people, why do I frown? Because they do the most. I really young people, because they're so different now. Google research, Mercury is retrograde, has seen.
It's gone viral.
Okay.
I saw this post the other day that made me feel so old. So it was like, somebody said to me 20 years ago, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, the 1980s was good, but I was like, they was really talking about 2003, and now I need to go lay down. Like, damn.
That's crazy.
Yeah, 2003 was definitely 20 years ago. That's when I graduated from high school. I'm just like, oh. Yeah, I don't be thinking about the 2000s when I think about 20 years ago. I'm like, oh yeah, 20 years ago. No ma'am. Try 40 years ago was the 80s, okay? But, okay, so let's do Virgo, because we have, both our daughters are Virgos. It says, rather than deal with all this retrograde energy, you want to go on vacation, which we tried to do, Chad.
Okay, didn't we?
Permission to live with your hand in the sand for a while is granted. Okay, so somebody just need to go clear their mind, which I'm down for. And I still want to go see Usher, so we need to talk about that.
Okay. Even if they don't want to go, we'll go.
Yeah, for real.
Okay.
So my boyfriend is a Scorpio. For him, it says relationships will be in flux as Jupiter and Uranus add a flare of excitement that could bring on and off and then on again with your partner.
Relationship will be in flux.
Lord, it says
on and off again.
Be open to the erratic patterns that are ahead of you this summer.
All I'm doing, I'm just laughing because this is an inside joke, guys.
What time is summer over?
Summer, actually, this is September 1st. Happy September. No, this is September 2nd. And happy September, everyone. And winter begins, I want to say.
Fall. We can't skip fall.
I mean, fall. That's what I meant. Fall begins.
On the 22nd?
I want to say that.
Yeah, I think it always changes on the 22nd.
Are you asking when it's winter or when it's fall?
No, when is this summer shit over? That's what I'm asking.
When is this retrograde shit over?
Because this for Scorpio really just sealed it. So it ain't me.
Well, it is you and him. It's you and him. And if you see what I'm doing now, because I almost messed up so royally.
Oh Lord.
Oh my gosh, Shayna. And I had to think, because when stuff is coming at you all at once, you really do kind of forget. I forgot about retrograde and everything, but things were coming at me and I almost made a decision, a bad one. And if I had, I would cry the rest of the year and probably all of next year if I had made that decision. But something say stop. Take a deep breath, think about what you're doing, and I had to regroup, and I was like, why am I so angry with all of this? And I thought about the retrograde, and then I went to this person, and I was like, oh my gosh, let me calm my ass down. I calmed down. I did not make a decision, which I was going to. Now, I did make a decision on the first one.
Okay.
They needed to go. But the second one, the stuff that they are doing is so good. If I had gone with my first feelings and just jumped on it like they say retrograde does, and Mercury retrograde, where you jump and you make decisions and you should not do. If I had done that, I would hate myself right now. But long of the short, girl, So you and your friend don't make any daggone decisions. Don't say stuff is final. It is not permanent. Just wait. If you could just wait until the 15th of September and see what you feel like.
But hold on, now that I'm thinking about it, like the story that I was telling you about, this was before. This was before. I'm thinking about, hold on, I done got she almost had me, y'all. Oh, she almost had me. Because no, the date that I'm thinking about was definitely before this retrograde.
Wait a minute, retrograde started August 23rd.
It was before that.
It was before that. This is how I feel. And I even told my daughter, I was saying, look, you know how, like you were just saying, they're talking about moving the daggone dates up, and your sign would make you a Taurus or make you a Scorpio. I'm like, okay, so they're saying August 23rd. What are they basing this on? Because August 23rd, or when you wrote this stuff down years ago,
right.
Because it goes back a little bit, or it goes forward. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so this is what I said. I'm just gonna start a week early and let it go a week late, because then you should be in there.
Okay.
So was it still a week before the 23rd? Or
it was in between. No, so it wasn't the full week before.
Was it in August?
It wasn't
Well,
August.
then that's
it was
enough
like
for
the
me.
week before.
That's enough for me, because there's a lot of weird stuff been happening to me in August, and all I know is the first thing I say to myself now is retrograde. Let me leave that alone. Let me take a deep breath. Let me step off of this and make sure that I'm not making a haste decision right now. What do you see over there?
So I wanted to know what was the largest planet, which is Jupiter.
We know that, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's
we clearly do.
in science, yeah.
I didn't know.
Oh, okay,
That's why
okay.
I just Googled it. But that is also, it's not the longest one. I was trying to see which one was the longest.
Because of you're trying to see because of the planet size.
Right,
Does it make it longer?
Yeah, if that had any factor, but clearly it doesn't. So yeah, I mean, this has been very interesting. I'm gonna keep an eye out or whatever. I don't know how I feel about it so far, but it's very interesting.
Well, you don't have to believe in it. And guys, the reason I'm wearing all of these stones and crystals is because we have this amethyst here on our table, is because I also read that the crystals are they help with the Mercury retrograde. Also peppermint, and if you're inhaling lavender and just pleasant things, lighting a candle, pretty much what we do anyway to relax.
Right.
But these are things that you could do to, when you find yourself in retrograde is affecting you, you can do these things. But guys, we didn't want to go too long with it, but we wanted to just let you know about retrograde, and now that you've heard it, please go and Google retrograde. It's really something to just know, because it does really affect you. And like Shana said, it affects you because you believe in it, because you know about it, because you might feel that something isn't real. You can feel that way all day, every day, any day, but if it's real, it's real, and you can't, it's still gonna be real if you believe it or not. Air, you can't see it, but daggone well, it's definitely here, because you would not be, walking around and doing whatever the case may be. But nevertheless, guys, I hope you love this podcast.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. So, with that said, feel the rumble and
listen to the roar. We'll see you guys next week.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.